Hey Falcons, welcome back to your first week of our 50-50 split. Always kind of an exciting time around here at the building. Hopefully we're starting to kind of get used to it and kind of remember some of those old practices. Today what we're going to do is have a few different little interviews as we go through our announcements here. Today I've got our athletic director, Mr. Brett Clark. And so to get started, I was just going to let him tell us a little bit about himself, and then we'll just kind of talk through some things that you need to know regarding winter sports.
I am Mr. Clark. I've been the athletic director here for 6 years since we've opened. Before that, I taught high school math and coached basketball at Hamilton Southeastern High School. I've got 3 kids, 2 boys and a little girl, both boys, things that are on every Falcons sports team that we have here. And that's pretty much me.
Excellent. So currently, what sports are in season?
We've got boys basketball 7th and 8th, we've got girls basketball 7th and 8th, wrestling, and we also have our cheer teams.
Okay, excellent. And then as far as like school looks totally different this year, right? So we're wearing masks, we're in 50-50, we're using QR codes, we're using all kinds of different stuff this year to make school work. Are we seeing some of those same kind of big differences in kind of the sporting world?
I would say yes and no. I'm excited about having sports still. I think that that's an important factor in a lot of our students' lives, and that's basically one of the only places that they've got some normalcy still. But we also have to deal with the situation as it is, and there's a lot of different practices that we're putting into place, whether it's masks on the bench or social distancing. I'd say the biggest difference that we've encountered is through the attendance policies that we've had, like not being able to have all our family and friends at all of our events.
Okay. Yeah, and I've seen that too at the events I've visited and been able to go to. So I have noticed that as a big difference. And then the other thing is, a lot of times when we have to go through changes like this, we also learn a few new things that are almost like, hey, this is a really good way of doing things. Have you come across anything that you like, that you think, man, this could keep going on year after this?
I would say probably the biggest thing, and it's really been the easiest thing for us to implement, is implementing more cleaning procedures, whether that's with our wrestling mats and the UV light, or just spraying down chairs and things of that nature. Just things that are going to help us stay safe and stay clean as we continue to go forward.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Is there anything else kind of sports right now that's going on or coming up that you think we should all kind of be aware of?
Sure. Our boys' seasons are wrapping up here in the next 2 weeks. Our 7th grade boys basketball will finish this next weekend, trying to finish off with their Riverside invite and try to finish off their season with only 1 loss.
Wow.
Our boys' 8th grade team is going to be competing in the county the following week.
Great, great. Thank you for that. And then last, if you guys tuned in last week, I like to try to play a game. I don't know if you were able to see it, but what I do is I like to give a word, and then you give me a word that you think of first. Okay?
Sure.
Are you willing to play along?
I'll play.
Okay, because you're an old coach, athlete. I know you play to win, so let's have a little fun with it, all right? All right.
Sure.
We just got done doing 2 hours of lunch duty, and so I got food on the mind, so my word to you is sandwich.
First thing that comes to mind is lunch.
Close. It should have been Reuben is what we were looking for. A Reuben sandwich was the correct answer. Hey, guys. Thank you, Mr. Brett Clark. I appreciate you being here and playing along. Now we're going to kick it over and hear from Coach Funk and things that you need to know about our wrestling team.
Hi, I am Coach Funk, for you guys that don't know me. How I became a teacher here at Fall Creek, I started teaching in Texas. I was in Texas for 7 years and taught 2 years of 8th grade science and then 5 years of physics and astronomy, and had 2 kids in Texas, started my family down there, and we decided to move back because I'm originally from farmland, Indiana, outside of Muncie. So we decided to move back closer to family when we started having more kids. So Fall Creek, the first year it started here, opened up, and I was lucky enough to get a job here teaching 8th grade science and coaching football, wrestling, and track at the time. I have been coaching for, this is my, I think the start of my 17th year coaching and my 13th year of teaching. Started coaching in college and then been doing it ever since. So far, this wrestling season, it's been a little bit different, obviously, like with everything. We have smaller numbers than usual, but it's kind of fun because it's more one-on-one coaching time. But we're lucky enough to have individuals that kind of spread out the weight classes, so we're not all jam-packed in one, so we have a decent-sized roster. We had our first meet last night, wrestled Delta Middle School from over actually near Muncie, and we won 66-36. But we got a lot of improvement we can still be doing, and we got our next wrestling meet is at HIJH on Thursday night. With the sport of wrestling, I just really hope all the guys learn kind of the aspects of the sport. And like I've told them multiple times, I would not be here today without the sport of wrestling. It teaches you so many just life lessons, determination, overcoming obstacles. And with those lessons that you learn through the sport of wrestling, it just, you know, feeds into every aspect of your life. And like I said, I always give credit to wrestling because the reason I'm here today is through coaching, through teaching, being involved in that sport alone. Started in the 4th grade and been doing it for over a quarter of a century now. It's kind of crazy to say, but it's a great sport, teaches you so many life lessons, and again, I give it all the credit in the world for shaping me as a person.
Hey Falcons, this is Mr. Rosenbaum again. At this point in time, it is 6th period, and we are crashing Mrs. Kelly's 6th period facts class. What's happening today in facts class?
We are attempting to sew.
What are we sewing today?
They are sewing some lovely little pencil pouches.
Lovely pencil pouches. Hey, it's a lifelong skill, believe me. I was up here earlier today, and I got my button sewed back on, didn't I?
You did. Life skill there.
Thank you very much for that. All right, we are going to ask her students a series of questions. These will be simple. So they're going to come up, they're going to answer a question. The first question that we're going to ask today is, do you prefer to be a virtual student or an in-person student? Are we ready, gang? Yeah. Excellent. Come on up. What's your answer?
In person.
In person. In person. In person.
In person. In person.
All right, so in person, that was pretty unanimous. All right, next question. We've done a 7-period schedule, and now we've done a 4-period block schedule. Which do you prefer, the block schedule or the 7-period schedule?
Block. 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 Block.
Block schedule. Block.
Well, that was pretty unanimous as well. So we like to be in person, and we like to have a lot of time in our classes. All right, this is our last question of the day. If we got to host one concert this summer, because we're only allowed to have one concert, and we could invite any musical act, band, singer, past or present, who would you invite for the City of Fishers? Are we ready? All right, let's try it.
Matthew West.
I don't know.
Michael Jackson.
Thomas Rhett.
I do not have an answer. Queen.
All right, good answers. We need to think of this over this long weekend. I guess we don't have a long weekend, but we do have a e-learning Friday. Hey guys, you had a great first week. I really appreciate everything that you did to stay safe and have a great week and have a great weekend. And we will see you back here next week. All right, take care.